No, I can't wear them short ass shorts. Things be riding up.
Yeah. In the days of old, 5 elements were known: MCing, DJing, graffiti had grown, B-boy and knowledge, the pillars of the game. But a 6th emerged, adding to the flame. Comics and hip-hop, a fusion so tight. Visual storytelling, lyrics that ignite. From the pages to the beats, a seamless blend. The 6th element, where 2 worlds transcend.
Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu guiding the way, bringing you the culture every day. Welcome to the 6th Element Show, where comics and hip-hop flow. Reno and Stu.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to the 6th Element Show. I am your host, Reno Noir. This is your co-host, Stu Dog. Welcome. What's good, everybody? How you doing, Stu?
I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to
maintain
in this tariff
in this environment,
this
tariff nation,
tariff rich environment. But I'm making it.
Tariff rich environments.
Yes, I'm making it. I am making it.
I mean, it's all we can do. That's all we can do. Let's see.
We were talking. Me and you were talking about you building the Justice League, and I went on Scalper's Island just to see. I just went just to see. Wonder Woman is on there for $100.
I'm glad you found one for 100 because I was seeing them for like 150, 160. Crazy numbers.
I ain't see those numbers, but I seen 100, and I was blown away by it, man. Like, listen, guys,
McFarlane for one thing. Like, come on.
I know.
Not no defect.
Listen, scalpers out there, stop it. Just stop, man. Like, you're killing it. Like, you're killing you're killing our vibe. Like, yeah, you're killing the hobby. You're killing our vibe. Who wants to collect if I gotta pay a $25 figure? I'm paying. That's a 75% markup. Oh, listen, let me give y'all some advice. Once it gets to about 60% over, 60% and up, it's no longer worth buying.
No one's gonna buy it. You're just wasting your time posting.
You stuck with those 5 Wonder Women for the rest of your natural life, unless you find a sucker that's gonna buy it.
And if these tariffs, once these tariffs kick in and you paying these extra, don't even try to scalp. Because ain't nobody paying that. You'd be lucky if we pay the tariffs just to order our own shit. Now you wanna jack it up on top of the tariff? Good luck. That's all I can say. Good luck. It won't be me buying them.
Yeah. You should. Yeah. Right. Listen, if you guys want to sell, build your own. Mash them up or something. I don't know. Do something to make us pay that extra money. Don't just take something that we can get off the store shelf and then try to sell it to us at a.
I'm glad you brought that up.
That's actually exploitation.
I'm glad you said it that way.
Exploitation.
You know why?
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is. Why?
Because I customize my joints. Check it out. Boom. OG Flash. Got the OG yellow. See, McFarlane made this, but he made it with like a goldish color. The yellow was all goldish. Like, I don't know why he does that shit. Like, who's that for? I don't know. But this is how he's supposed to look. Got him with his OG yellow. I painted him. I got all the. Let me show you.
Yeah, it's hard.
These. That's for painting those. You ever seen those little the miniatures dudes be painting on and shit? Like Dungeons and Dragons miniatures. This is the paint they use for those. And so boom, I hit him with that because I'm putting together the OG Justice League. And McFarlane put out this hideous. This was his OG. This was his OG Aquaman. And I want you to see ridiculous. like the eyes are all super close together. He just looks corny, bro. So he just looks super corny. So I had to hook him up. I gave him more yellow hair. I gave him more eyebrows. So he look a little bit more hard. Now,
look better than the Aquaman I got.
The Aquaman that when you buy it, the orange is like an iridescent, almost like a clearish iridescent color, like it's got like some sort of glitter or something in it, and it's like a clearish orange. And I just something just wasn't looking right, man. He was sitting there in the lineup, and I just felt like he just didn't look OG enough. So I got the paint out, mixed up some yellow and red together until I got the orange tone that I liked, and I painted him over with the orange. You see that little insignia on his arm I put?
You put that there?
Yep. Well, it's there, but they had it. McFarlane had it just the same color as the rest of them, no paint. So I painted it yellow and the green. And yeah, he just fucking looks way better. I gave him put some gold on his staff. Like his staff was just one solid yellow. So I made the trident gold with some like gold accents on the tip, and just made it all around way better. Now, if you want to turn around and scalp that on Scalper Island and raise the price, you can jack that price up because you've customized it, you've painted it, you've done something to it to justify that. Slade, welcome, peace. 100 big ones, they must be crazy. I built myself a JSA for McFarlane, just waiting on our man. JSA, yeah, Justice Society of America. That's what's up. Appreciate it. I got the Batman, I got the Green Lantern. The Green Lantern was my favoriteest so far. This is the lineup as is.
Still, yeah, you just missing
Superman and Aquaman, or Wonder Woman and Superman. I mean,
Superman.
Yeah, Superman is on the way. He'll be here Friday. Superman will be here Friday, and the Wonder Woman. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that, man. I need somebody to help me out. Hey, y'all, if you watching right now, everybody watching right now, help your boy out, man. Donate the Wonder Woman to the Sixth Element. Yeah, I mean.
See, I got Aquaman, but mine's is different than yours. Matter of fact, you're right up front too. Yeah, mine's
I painted it.
No, I'm saying even before you painted it, mine's is still different. I don't have the. I like the one you have. I like a little better. Here's mine's. Here's mine's right here.
So basically, yours is the exact same body. It's just got different paint and a different head, but it's the identical body.
Does.
The body's identical.
And he's got the beard.
Yeah, you have a different head. Yours is a different head sculpt. But mine, instead of like goldish, it's got bright yellow, and then the orange I made just to be real, just primary color, elementary school fucking basic ass orange, because that's how he was back in the day. I want the Justice League I'm building to be like the 80s Super Friends cartoon. I mean, that's what I'm going for. But yeah, see how his staff is? Let me see. Is his staff it's got gold on it?
Yeah.
What about the shaft? Is it painted? What's it got on there?
Same as the top.
Oh, it's all gold, Mike? It's hard to see on the camera, bro. I can't really tell, but okay. Yeah. Mine was just like yellow, and so I painted the trident gold and put some gold like around the handle and shit. But you may be wondering why. To get into the topic of the show tonight, guys, if you came to see what's going on with Andor's finale.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna chop that.
We'll do a show on scalpers and everything.
Yeah, for sure. But Andor, the finale, 100% scored Star Wars show. Just phenomenal. Um, Another thing I want to touch on that I'm super excited about that came finally is the Tales of the Underworld. The Tales of the Underworld finally dropped as well. You know what? I should have put that in the show. Hang on, I'm gonna have to change my description because we're gonna talk about that too. Tales of the Underworld, Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. We saw, excellent throwback going back on the origin of Cad Bane, the origin and the aftermath, the post Asajj Ventress story. So that's definitely the Cad Bane was definitely my favorite, but they were both great. We're gonna definitely chop those up. I'm just trying to get everything in order for you guys.
And they even show his species, like more of his species.
Got to see him as a young guy. Got to see his species, other people of his species and shit. Yeah.
Because we normally don't get that.
Right.
And so when we did get it,
it was a treat. And that's what I loved about Tales of the Jedi. Remember the first one with fucking you had young Qui-Gon, you had young Dooku, got to see Yaddle and shit. But it was just dope because they broke it all down, like the origin. And I love to see any type of lore, any type of like shit that off screen, right? Anything they talk about and they never show, of course we're interested to see it. So when they do show that, it's like really cool when they do come out with those. And when Tales of the Underworld was announced, Cad Bane, one of the two characters, thought it would be dope. Cad Bane's section isn't really as it was great. It could have been better. There was other aspects but so we've got the Tales series. So we got the two characters. We got general thoughts that I'll give you here, hammering down on each episode. Ventress, so everyone has an origin story, right? And so we don't always need it, right, to better understand the character. And I feel like this was the biggest hill that Tales of the Underworld had to climb for. That's kind of what it's all about. It's all about going back and finding out the history of these characters and stuff. And hang on, it's getting a phone call. God damn it. Fucking live. Sorry. So yeah, we'll chop up the Underworld first. Theoretically, Lucasfilm Animation's Tales Anthology. It's a very interesting method of expanding the stories and the characters and everything that we've seen in the sequels and all that. So we get to see like their spin-off, their animated spin-offs, their follow-ups, their origins, their histories, shit like that. Like Ahsoka Tano, we had Count Dooku, Qui-Gon, young Qui-Gon, and so Asajj Ventress now, who's become essential to this Skywalker saga. And so in practice, though, Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and now Tales of the Underworld have proven very uneven and inconsistent. Tales of the Jedi was amazing. Tales of the Empire was utter shit. I couldn't even get through it. It was pure crap. Tales of the Underworld exemplifies this more than either of its predecessors, with one storyline that mostly succeeds and one that kind of fails to bring new, meaningful dimensions to its protagonist. And this round of Tales, again, focuses on its, three of its bite-sized, approximately like 15-minute long episodes on one character and three on another. First, they do the separatist assassin Asajj Ventress, and then an infamous bounty hunter, Cad Bane, right? So both arcs are bountiful treasures of lore and eye candy and all kinds of cool shit. But Lucasfilm Animation is showing off at this point, having perfected their painterly art style. Tales of the Underworld looks better than the Bad Batch. It looks better than the other, older, shows, obviously, and the other Tales series too. It looks better than, yeah. I mean, with the textures, the lighting, the water physics, it's all better in this one. They it seems like they went up a level or got even a new studio or something. And so the music also stands out.
Or using Unreal Engine 5 or something. I don't know.
Unreal Engine
But it does
5 or
look good.
something.
Yeah, it does look good. It looks excellent.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Um, and so, and it also stands out for the voice acting too. Corey Burton and Nika Futterman have two of the most iconic voices in the business, and they continue to make the most of their depictions of Bane and Ventress, and to the degree that it almost makes Bane's storyline a bit confusing. The way the voice, but I'll get to that. As a fan of Reservation Dogs on FX, and specifically Lane Factor's performance in it, I was surprised and pleased to hear that Factor made his voice acting debut in Tales of the Underworld, bringing his endearing and honest energy to Ventress's new friend Lyco, who's supposed to be this Jedi who just can't hide his Jedi-ness. He can't act at all. He's just can't let the Jedi, can't hide the Jedi in himself, right? He's got to be the good guy all the time. And he's trying to hide, right? He's trying to not be noticed as a Jedi. So he's not doing a good job. But beyond its presentation, though, but that's the intention. So Tales of the Underworld underdelivers on the promise of this title, right? I thought we were going way deeper into the underworld. I thought this was going to be about the gangsters, the Jabba the Hutt gangsters, and the hitmen and the casinos and all that shit, right? That's what I thought this was going to be about. The first 3 episodes centered around Ventress, though, we get none of the sense of that seedy underbelly that's been a quintessential component of Star Wars ever since Obi-Wan, Luke, and C-3PO and R2-D2 first went into Mos Eisley's fucking wild nightclub cantina. And instead of sort of plunging into the dark corners of the galaxy, I don't know about you, Stu, but I felt like it didn't really hit for that in that way. It kind of took on Ventress's mostly lighthearted romp as she kind of teaches her old age lesson about the value of friendship. And there's some good stuff. There's an Inquisitor that pops out, cool little thing. There's a fun little heist, some heavy material involving veterans who are unable to let go of their wars, some stuff like that. That was pretty cool with the old man. But it's not an unimportant story to tell, but it is also one that's already been told by the Clone Wars and Rebels and the Bad Batch. And so there's really no reason to bring Ventress back from the fucking dead just to tell it again. But
and then don't forget the comics. It's also been told in the comics as well.
Mm-hmm. Been told in the comics ad nauseum. And so that's the other disappointment with her story. It already ended once, and a canon book called Dark Disciple, which is a real popular book. I think I have it right. Yeah, right there. Ventress and the Jedi Quinlan Voss go on a path to get revenge against Dooku. And it's a really good book. You get the origins and shit of Dooku and shit, but the story was conceived for the Clone Wars, but was turned into a book after the show's first cancellation, when they first canceled it. And so at the end of the Dark Disciple book, Ventress dies, sacrificing herself to save Quinlan Voss, whom she, spoiler alert for this 10-year-old book, falls in love with. And Tales of the Underworld sort of teases that story. She's like, Quinlan kind of comes out in the beginning, and she's like, oh, well. And so it gives us a glimpse of that ending and sort of, but again, it's in a way that explains how Ventress was almost immediately resurrected, clearing the path for her appearances here and on the Bad Batch. And so ultimately, I don't know, it kind of feels like an unnecessary epilogue in a journey that already felt complete.
I agree. I agree. Listen, it's fun to watch, and I did enjoy it. But I agree with you. It is a story that you could have gave us. Let's just say they gave us 2 other characters. What was the droid that was in that was in Mandalorian? You could have gave us that, and maybe Bane.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, there's a lot you could have gave us. But I guess because Ventress is so popular.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but I liked it though. I really liked it, man. I thought it was good.
Yeah, Tales of the Underworld was phenomenal. I loved it. Always been a fan of Ventress and Bane. This was a treat for me. I agree. Very cool characters. I got their Black Series figures right over there on my shelf, and they're
Do you have
two
do you have
very
Adventures? Did they
bro.
ever put Adventures out?
Oh, there's like 3 Bane. There's like 3 Cad Banes or something. I got all the Cad Banes. The Ventress though. Hold on, I got her skirt customized into pants because she's fighting Vader's apprentice from Force Unleashed on the shelf.
Yeah, that's dope. I never knew they had it.
It's velvet. It's like a velvet material. Yeah, see the cloth?
Yeah.
And I kind of they got this plastic thing that hangs down and it's a skirt. But I wrapped that thing up and tucked it in the back to make pants.
Make hammer pants.
Make hammer pants so she could fight. Yeah. But yeah, the face sculpt is great. It's gonna focus. But anyway, this little shit comes with. Why does this come with Aquaman?
That's paying homage to the TV show. That Aquaman is from. Did you ever see the Aquaman cartoon? Back in the day?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's where I recognize it from. That's how it looked too. The writing Aquaman on the show.
Yeah, that's how it was on the show.
Yeah.
The Aquaman you have is the Aquaman that's reminiscent of that.
And now look how cool he looks on the back.
It's on the back. Yeah.
Todd, what happened? Does that look like that to you? What happened?
Nah, not at all.
What happened, Todd?
Not even close. No.
But what are you gonna do? But no, yeah, Tails.
It's still a cool Aquaman.
It was great.
Still a cool Aquaman. Yeah, and then you bashed it.
I like that.
Yeah. No, you bashed it. And that made it better. Yeah, that made it better.
Yeah, I made them really work because there was just some things that were just bothering me. But that's the cool thing, man. With these figures, I realized, man, now that I'm a grown ass man and I don't really like play with them, I just put them on the shelf so you can paint them. Now, if I was gonna play with that paint would end up scratching off and just be fucked up within minutes. Like it's not like sealed or anything like that. But on the shelf, it's fine. So you can customize. I can customize whenever. I've customized a bunch of shit. I've customized so many fucking figures, dude. Painting them, fucking chroming them out, doing whatever to them. But yeah, I want to get to the Tales of the Underworld part that I like. Not that I hated the Ventures part. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like, it was kind of like, okay, I've seen this before. It's cool, but I've seen it before. Bane episodes definitely live up to the Underworld name, though with the scum and villainy on full display. And his story is like a classic Western in 3 acts, right? It's set at 3 successive points in his life. It starts off him and his little scoundrel friend running around, like elementary school, rapscallions, homeless kids running around eating out of trash cans, getting into shit. And it's a story of diverging paths, right? There's him and his friend. And so what comes down to a friend breakup, right? And all the drama that entails. And so it's like telenovela, right? The drama there. And so and it's honestly better for it. So Bane has always been about the drama and the theatrics. And so it fits his character well. And it's a story of class and poverty and impressions that they can leave on a young mind. And so it's a relatively unexplored territory for Star Wars in that. And it's interesting to see like a story like that through the franchise's lens. I mean, that's what we love to see, is like use Star Wars to tell stories. Like and I think George Lucas would love these episodes. I think these episodes were more the kind of shit he wanted to do, in his Twilight, the sequels he wanted to make. And so given the way that they rhyme with Anakin's journey in the prequels, it definitely seems like something that he would have done, if not co-signed. And so Anakin, turned to the dark side, but Bane was kind of born with it. And it's it's compelling. It's an origin story that shows us how he embraced it from the start. Like he was already getting into shit, but he hadn't turned full evil yet or anything like that. But he him and his buddy are doing their thing, and they not to ruin the story, but they get into some shit with some gangsters, some real grown up gangsters, and they do a heist with the gangsters, but you know you wasn't fast to jump over the hedges with me, type shit. They run from the cops, and Bane gets away, but his friend gets caught, and instead of like, I don't know, his friend thought he was gonna run back and like get caught with him instead, so he takes off, and the gangsters they're like, come on, kid, and they hop in the car. He hops in the car with the gangsters and takes off while his friend gets arrested. And they go into the galaxy, right? Having adventures and doing crimes and doing dirt and everything. He grows up, gets some seasoning, and comes back and finds out that his buddy who got busted has become a cop. And they're like on two sides of the spectrum. So shit goes down. Bane has a girl now, and Bane's girl gets shot, but she's alive, she's okay, but Bane has to bail. And so he bails, and well, no, they arrest him rather. Sorry. He escapes jail, and then he bails. So years later he comes back as full on Cad Bane. His hat, they show you where he gets his hat from, the gangster. He gets his hat from like this gangster that he admired who dies, and he gets the hat. Like, it's dope. It's dope shit. And it's just total cool gangster western, like just cool shit that they did. I loved it. So they show he comes back, and he's like comes back to get his girl. Finds out his boy that became a cop then had kids with the girl. They didn't got together. They're married now. So his friend that became a cop married his girl, Bane's girl, Cad Bane's girl. So obviously he's like incensed. Can't say nothing to him. And you can imagine where it goes from there. But it's good. You got to catch it yourself. But it's dope.
It really is.
I really dug that one.
Yeah. And like you said, those are the ones that blew me away as well, the Cad Bane ones.
Yeah,
Because it was just something I never seen before, one, and two. I don't know much about Cad Bane other than when he was introduced. I read a little bit here and there, but that was just good to see,
Yeah. Well,
Plus we always thought he was super cool when he came out. My son is in the Cad Bane. He loves the bounty hunters.
I gotta
We
change.
just
What did I
always thought he
say?
was super cool.
Yeah. Hold on. It's the penultimate. Come on, dude. I hate that. It's the penultimate. So this is not the finale. I forgot. I don't. It excuse me, but I did think that it was the finale for a second. I didn't think it was, but like, there we go. All right. I was gonna change something else too, wasn't I? I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, I was gonna change something. Oh, your stream must be scheduled in the future, and within 1 year, please edit the start time. What are you talking about? It's the same fucking stream. Oh, I can't change shit once I've started it. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, I wanted to change the video name because I for some reason I called it Andor finale. This is 3/4 of the way through Andor, right? It's the penultimate section, right? There's actually four. There's four. We'll call them chapters, right? Because chapter 1 was episode 1, 2, and 3. Chapter 2 last week was episodes 3, 4, 4, 5, and 6. And tonight's are 7, 8, and 9. Next week's are going to be 10, 11, and 12. 7, 8, and 9 is 3/4 through. Next week is the end. It's Andor's over. And so as things on Gorman, kind of just really just ramp and go from bad to worse, this is really where it pops off. And Cassian finds himself facing some tough decisions here. And like our thumbnail shows, K-2S0 looking like the Terminator. There's a dope scene, right, where he just comes in like fucking T-800, bro, and it's straight out of Terminator 2, like, and they hit him with the car and everything, and it's just they treat him like he's like a fucking Terminator, like as soon as you let him up, and so I kind of thought that was going to be his origin, because K-2S0 is a robot. He's one of the Empire's kind of battle droids, but he's in Rogue One as one of the rebels, but he's like a reprogrammed battle droid. And that was the cool thing I thought that was cool about him in Rogue One, was that he was like a reprogrammed Empire droid that now worked for the rebels, and he had all his powers and shit. So that was cool that they had him on the team. And in this episode, we kind of see how they get him on the team. He starts off as an Empire droid, and he's coming for them, and they break him in half and fucking bring him. Next episode, they Frankenstein him, they resurrect him. It's super Frankenstein, super cool. And so, yeah.
Remember in the first season, he ran into another K2S. K2S.
Oh yeah, a bunch of them. I mean, yeah, those they're
security droids. Yeah, they're security droids. So yeah, they're security droids. But I want to know how his programming got the way it was, because remember
that's what I'm telling you.
Rogue One, in Rogue One, he was like, there's something with his because he was real sassy.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens in this chapter, right? And in the second episode, he attacks them, and then they break him in half and shit, and break him down at the end. And then at the end of the third episode, they show them reprogramming him and bringing him back to life as their friend. But there's 3 episodes. Episode 7, the first of the 3, is called The Messenger, or just Messenger. And the action shifts to BBY2, Battle Yavin 2. And so the episode opens in the Rebel base on Yavin 4. Cassian, Andor, and Bix Colleen have made a home for themselves now. They kind of seem happy. They've taken a step back a little bit from Luthen's bullshit, his never-ending fight. He's constant, just constant fucking gangster shit, just constant spy shit, always on. And they just needed a little break. And so they're kind of starts out where they're kind of taking that little breakish. And so their peace is then right away interrupted by the arrival of Wilmon Pack. And he wishes to remember, he's the guy that was breathing deep with fucking Forrest Whitaker's character in the last episode. So he was that dude. So he pops up, right? And he wants to assassinate Deidre, this Deidre character, right? The female emperor, the badass. Syril's girl. Remember Syril, right? He's the main Empire dude that's what I'm talking about, right? Syril?
Yeah, Syril, yeah.
The Empire, the guy, right? The fucking corny dude, right? He's the one
that was yelling at
with his crazy ass mom.
Yeah. His mom's off the chain.
Yeah,
she's right about a lot of stuff. But if you really, she's right about a lot of stuff that she was saying to him, but he's just blinded by his position and his
ambitions.
His ambitions and his position. He's just blinded by. He's loyal to the Empire.
Right. And so his girl Deidre, this guy pops up and he wants to assassinate her. He wants to kill her, and Cassian's kind of reluctant to get involved. But when Bix introduces him to a force sensitive healer who walks up, she's kind of like, I don't know if she was blind or what. She's definitely force sensitive, and she laid hands on him, and she like read his his feelings and shit, and kind of read his future in a way, and so that kind of she said he's a messenger, right? He's not a soldier, he's a messenger, right? He's got some place to be. And so Like we don't know. And on Gorman, things have intensified. I mean, we know what's going on there. We know it. The Empire has decided to take what it needs from the planet, which is that mineral. That mineral they're going there to take, and they're gonna, they don't care. They got to kill everybody, whatever. That's what they're gonna do. And Deidre warns Syril that, to be ready to evacuate. His shit's gonna pop off, and you'll be in danger. But he's having doubts about the Empire's intentions here. He's like, what the fuck are you? Because they're keeping it. They're keeping the intentions from him, right? They weren't telling Syril everything, and so he's like, what aren't you telling me? And then Cassian and Wilmon arrive. Val and Mon's cousin speak with Bix, and Cassian checks into a hotel where he stayed a year earlier and watches as Imperial forces gather nearby. End of episode 7. Episode 8 starts, called Where Are You? And Cassian concludes that he will be near impossible to take out Deidre. The Imperials building a fortress around the base. Tensions are rising on Gorman, though in Syril, who unknowingly walks past Cassian without seeing him, starts to realize that everything ain't as it seems, and shit might be, he might not be on the inside like he thinks he is. And one of the soldiers deliberately sends an inexperienced they want shit to pop off. They want the it kind of reminds me of like what the American government will do, like in a certain riot situation. Like if they really want shit to go bad and they want certain people to riot and they want some shit to pop off, they'll go in there and they'll kind of stir the pot. And so that's what the Empire is doing here. They want the Gorman people to revolt. They want them to riot. They want them to rise up and rebel. And they want them to, like, start getting violent, like they want them to, so that they'll have an excuse to turn around and slaughter them all, so that the rest of the galaxy is like, oh, when y'all killed Gorman, when they get blamed and everyone sees that they slaughtered all of Gorman, they have an excuse, right? That's kind of why they're doing that. They want the excuse to be able to slaughter everybody, so they want them to pop off. They want them to get violent. So they deliberately send some inexperienced troopers, or like sending some dumbass cops who are fucking stupid and don't know shit and can't talk to people, those kind of guys, and send them in instead of the good troopers or whatever. And because they know they're gonna fuck up and cause a problem, and the crowd's gonna shoot, and someone's gonna. And so of course their plan, goes as planned. And when Syril learns the truth about all this from Deidre, he starts to choke her out, and then he takes off. He doesn't kill her. He takes off, and as this is happening, an Imperial sniper shoots one of his own men and incites the riot, which allows the Imperials to slaughter all the innocents in the crossfire. And so it's a massacre, which we knew was coming. We told you about this last week. Imperial droids laying waste to locals, just mowing them down. Syril finally catches sight of Cassian moments before he's about to shoot Deidre. And then a fight ensues. Cassian's finally face to face with the man who spent years hating him, and asks who he is. And Syril pauses, and like, because Cyril's getting ready to shoot Cassian, Cassian's like, who are you? And Syril just pauses for a second, gets bust, gets a laser shot in his dome, dead. Cyril's dead. Dead. That's it, done. Now I was like, whoa, they killed this character, like out of the, just killed Syril like that. I think everyone is gonna die. Every character in Andor is going to die.
Yeah.
On purpose. I think Tony Gilroy, they're purposely going to kill every character because they know everyone dies at the end of Rogue One. And so they just want to cap it all off. That's kind of the theme with this shit. Everyone dies at the end, right? That's the theme. And so that's what they're doing. No, there will not be a second season of Underworld. Unfortunately, they only do one season of these tales of, sadly. Captain America Brave New World will come to Disney Plus. No, I don't know. I have no idea. If you haven't seen it yet, man, don't even worry about it. You ain't missing shit. But you can go bootleg that on any of the bootleg sites.
Cheap
Man,
viewers.
oh, never mind. That's from Twitch. It's from Twitch. They don't see that on YouTube. We only see that.
Oh, okay.
That's on Twitch. We're streaming live on Twitch at the same time. Kevin, when it loses steam in the theaters, Disney will put it on Disney Plus. They don't even wait that long. They just they're putting them on pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like shit's going from theater to streaming real fast nowadays. They don't wait.
Oh, they have to. Yeah, they have to,
don't.
because if not, it'll get bootlegged, and they want to make all the money off it. Remember when we used to have to wait a year for something to come on?
Between everything. It was a year from movie to from theater to VHS, yep. Then a year from VHS cable, then a year from cable to network.
Yeah, everything was a year. Yeah, everything was a year. Everything was 1 year, and it came out on cable before it came out on home video. So the cable companies got it, and then home video got it. So it was about a year.
Well, no, they would have it at I don't know. I would see shit at the new release, videos before it would be on like HBO. But I guess it can go. Yeah, it probably went both ways.
Yeah, about a year, because it had to. Once they started bootlegging them, they started bringing them out faster. They had to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why. And to be honest with you, it's a conspiracy. That's why they tried. That's why they're trying to kill physical media. Because if you kill physical media, now there's no bootlegs out there. You can charge people because they're paying for the streaming service. You can charge them for that; they'll get that, and you can charge them to go to the theater and see it. So you either got to stream it, or so either way you're paying for it. Whereas before, they weren't getting the money. If you out there selling CDs, or DVDs for $5, a DVD copy, they're not making any money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So where are we? Episode 8. So end of the thing. The riot. They're massacring everybody. Droids just spraying everybody. Cassian sees fucking Syril get shot to death, and Cassian gets saved from one of the KX series security droids that is coming to kill him, looking like Terminator, bro. Do 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 do.
That is how it went down. So I'm laughing, but that's how it went down. It did go down like
It was a straight up nod. It had to be, and so they kill this. They stop it. They stop the droid, and they pack it up, throw it on the truck, take off. Episode 9 or episode 8 is over. Episode 9 starts. Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, concerned to see the Gorman senator placed under arrest, but the Empire has fed the galaxy a very specific narrative about what happened on the planet. Remember, they made the Gormans pop off first, right? Because they fed all this the whole time. What they've been doing is they've been feeding this sort of stoking this fire in the Gorman like underbelly, where they're starting to rebel, and like they're hearing about this conspiracy, and the Empire is going to come and they're going to slaughter people again, and blah 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 blah. Because Tarkin came there a while ago and killed like 500 people back in the day, and so they're already like looking at the Empire sideways. So they're hearing all these rumors and shit, and so they're building up. And again, the Empire's doing this on purpose, because when it gets to a head, they want them to shoot at the Empire first. And how are we going to get them to shoot at us first? We're going to feed them all this story about we're coming. And then when we come, they're going to be like, oh shit, they're here. They're going to be ready. They're going to have guns. They were already in the streets, ready to riot. So everything went the way as planned. And so Cassian wants to wipe his hands of Luthen's rebellion. But he is tasked with protecting Mon by Clea Markey. And so the senator intends to make a speech accusing the Empire of orchestrating the massacre, because she knows. But she'll be immediately arrested after she does it. And the ISB realizes something isn't right after she destroys a listening device from her office, right? And one of Bale's people is revealed to be an Imperial spy. So now it's imperative that Cassian reach Mon Mothma before her fellow senators people do. And she delivers her chill-inducing speech, branding Emperor Palpatine a monster. It's moving, and it's like, this is what fucking sets it all off, right? This is what starts the rebellion, because in Star Wars, what we know is, Luke and Leia and Han, and they're going to fight the Empire with these rebels, and they're joining the rebel army and all this. But why is there a rebel army? How'd that start? How'd that all come about? It's Andor. It's Rogue One. That's how the rebel army happened. This is how the rebel army happened. Mon Mothma fucking pimping her daughter out, getting paid, funding the rebellion, Luthen, and Andor, all this shit. Now there's this rebellion now, and she's talking about this monster Emperor Palpatine, and this is before that, there was no dissension, there was no rebellion, there was no talks of overthrowing the Empire, none of that shit. Now Roose Scott Melshi shows up on Yavin, and Wilmon is relieved to be alive, and Cassian tells Bix that he wants to leave the rebellion. So, but when he wakes up, Bix is gone. She leaves him a message. She says, she can't be the reason that he leaves the rebellion. He's too fucking important. The rebellion's too important. And she's like, you're going to leave the rebellion for me? Nah, B. And you've got a purpose. You have to fulfill it. But all this is over, or when all this is done, she'll find him. But she's like, you have to do this now. When it's over, we'll get back together. But no. And so he's distraught, but he keeps himself busy with reactivating that KX unit, which awakens with a new personality. Meet K-2S0. Do.
He came up in there like a Rev. He came in there like a Rev 9. Give him work.
You know what I mean? Fucking. Yeah. I should show y'all that shit real quick.
Let's do it.
Watch. We get in so much trouble, bro. I can't show y'all my secrets. Hold on.
Doctor, deep substrate exfoliated calcite should be fed. To find any alternatives, you will have due control gone. And phone enough to be silent.
All right. Here we go. Here he is right here. Watch. I'm going to show it in slow motion. With no sound. That's how we can do it. Watch. Look at Andor. He's like, oh shit. Look at the fucking T-800. Look at him fucking coming like Terminator. Fucking deuce. Fucking throwing pipe bombs out the truck. Do. Tossing fools. Do. Bruh.
It had no effect.
No effect. He will not stop until you are dead. Do. Look.
You got to remember like when they were shooting him. When they were shooting him in Rogue One, they had a hard time bringing him down.
Look.
Right.
They're like, oh shit. Yeah, he's a dude that hit him. They're like, they're still like, yo, they're still with guns on him like he's the Terminator.
You killed it. Yeah. Like, yo.
Hey, I know you. Oh yeah, that's where he meets up with that dude again. So yeah, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Man, that's crazy. But that was one of the better parts. Listen, Andor is amazing. It's an amazing cinematic in its own because me personally, I think it's one of the shows that actually got back to the root of what Star Wars is.
Right.
And it does it
Yeah.
with no lightsabers, no
Look.
Jedi's,
Mm-hmm.
no Sith.
No, none of that.
Yeah.
And this, like I said, this is Star Wars for the grown-ups. This is Star Wars for those who have grown up with Star Wars. Like, instead of just continually putting out kids shows and Star Wars for kids, they're respecting the fact that there's a whole, hundreds of thousands of us that have actually grown up and we're in our 40s and 50s and 60s and we love Star Wars and we deserve content that appeals to us. Skeleton Crew is cool, but like, the fuck? I'm not watching this shit. Like, I'm not really into it. I can watch it. I watched it. It was great. Skeleton Crew was cool. But I still had to watch it knowing like it's really good for a kid's show.
Yeah, you're right.
This is a real adult Star Wars show. A real adult Star Wars. Absolutely not for kids in any way, shape, or form. None of Andor is for kids. None of this shit. A kid would be bored out of his fucking mind. A kid would not want nothing to do with this. Look at that. Like Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm. You see him coming back to life.
Fucking Cassian got the AR on him. Why Cassian got an AR-15, bro? It's Star Wars.
That's the futuristic other side of the galaxy AR-15.
He said, hello.
If I've offended you, apologize. If not, I'd appreciate you pointing at elsewhere.
So now there he has the personality of K-2S0.
It just made him so lovable.
Yeah. And so Syril's death was crazy. That was Syril blames Cassian for everything. And it was just crazy. Was one of the guys that's in Andor, he said Syril, I think he's the guy that plays him. He said Syril is pouring all of his frustration and anger and pain of what he just discovered about Deidre and the Empire and the massacre that he's witnessing and into that moment. In a way, Syril blames Cassian for everything in Syril's life up to that point. Cassian has kind of become a totem for that, and Syril wants to destroy the totem. And that's what gets Syril killed. Is he just goes out there blindly, not sweating the fucking guns all around, bullets flying all around him, and just stands there. He said, I remember speaking to Andor creator Tony Gilroy and Diego, the guy that plays Cassian, about this many, many times. They couldn't figure out what was the last line in the scene should be. Is it, who are you? Is it you? Is it, why are you here? All of these different permulations. He said, in the end, I'm so thrilled we went with, who are you? Because we filmed it a couple different ways. This is interesting little behind the scenes shit about Syril. But speaking of Star Wars, Trump's administration, and I don't want to get political here. This is just a fucking
we got it. It is funny.
It's just a funny little thing, but what's so funny about it is it's not actually the picture itself, but check it out. This is not made by like some YouTuber. This is not made by some Instagram person. I mean, this isn't someone that just like one of these person made an AI thing and posted on IG. No. Trump as a Sith, mind you. I guess he's supposed to be a Jedi, sort of, but that's a Sith. He's got black robes like Anakin. He's definitely got a red lightsaber, so very Sith. Now, you would think that someone promoting Trump would make him a good guy, make him have a green lightsaber or blue. The White House shared this AI photo of Donald Trump on Star Wars Day, and the color of his lightsaber is confusing people. Addressing lightsaber color, Star Wars creator George Lucas once said, "Good guys are green and blue, bad guys are red." End quote.
That's true. That is true. So they did it.
Yeah.
They did a good job. It was perfect. They did a good job.
They hit spot on. Spot on. That's exactly.
You got two eagles in the background. Look at that.
Super pompous. Yeah. But nah, he's the man. Look at him. He's ready to fucking take on the Empire. But really, he is the Empire. He's got the red lightsaber. He is the Empire. What am I talking about? He's the fucking Emperor. He's the Emperor.
Yeah, they should have put him in as the Emperor.
They should have put the hood on him with lightning fucking side.
Yeah, looking like Darth Sidious.
Yeah, but that's funny. It's put out by the White House, and what it says, "Happy 4th." Let me see what they said. Oh, these are like people. Trump administration Star Sunday, May 4th. The White House accounts on Instagram, X, and Facebook posted an apparent message for Democrats who it unfavorably referred to as radical left lunatics to coincide with the Star Wars festivities. Wow. The White House said radical left lunatics. As part of the post, it shared an AI image of Trump wielding a red lightsaber while surrounded by bald eagles. But fans quickly spotted that despite the saber in hand, the president's galactic depiction appeared to have more in common with Darth Vader than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Happy May the 4th to all, including the radical left lunatics who are fighting so hard to bring Sith lords, murderers, drug lords, dangerous prisoners, and well-known MS-13 gang members back into our galaxy. The message read, "You're not the rebellion, you're the Empire. May the 4th be with you." Yeah. Funny shit. You're not the rebellion, guys. You are the Empire.
Empire, yeah. Well, I guess we told them.
Yeah. Rumored additions to the Avengers Doomsday cast may hint at a major story detail for this movie. The villain, Robert Downey Jr., remains. Let me see here. Back in March, Marvel Studios captivated the world for hours and hours with revealing the cast, with the chairs and the whole shit in an unannounced live stream across Twitter and YouTube. Shortly afterwards, the studio made it clear that more stars would join the impressive list of 27 talented actors and actresses, though they didn't give any indication of when or just how many more there'd be. Like, is it, a couple more or what? And so while we still don't know, what Marvel's plans might be, a recent leak by a familiar insider, we'll say, kind of, I don't know. It kind of lets the cat out of the bag. Longtime Hollywood scooper and Showtime Marvel shit lister Jeff the Inn Schneider recently rolled out a list of 33 stars that he was told would join the film, bringing the total number to an impressive 60. Right, so there's already 27. He's got 33 more. But even Snyder was a bit skeptical. If for the purpose of this exercise, we will take the list at face value, it could shed some serious light on what to expect in the movie in Avengers Doomsday. So let's break down what each of the 60 MCU stars might bring to the landscape of 2026 team up. the rumored new members of the cast are going to be. Or let me just throw them up here for y'all. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. I can't believe it. I can't believe there's so many. I mean, what kind of movie? You know, it's just going to be a clusterfuck. Everybody running around.
Yeah.
Or people just not having hella. Hang on, let me. You know, hella long, hella big, you know, parts or anything like that. Something is wrong. All right. Oh, you can see it. Let's see. Robert Downey Jr. All right. Obviously, the Fantastic Four, the new Avengers, which we now know are the Thunderbolts. We now know what the asterisk means, I guess, because they're the new Avengers.
Remember at the end of the Thunderbolts, they were saying that the new Captain America trademarked the name Avengers, so that they were gonna have to change the name, and
To
they were
new
trying to
Avengers.
figure out. Yeah, they were trying to figure out what they were gonna call themselves. Yeah, and remember Red Guardian came out with the suits, and he put a Z. He said Avengers with a Z. He was like, "See that? We're still the Avengers."
Yeah.
And he had this like crazy, I don't know, onesie on, a jumper.
Yeah.
He had this crazy onesie jumper on. He's like, "I
Yeah.
got one for everybody."
Yeah,
It was super funny.
yeah, it was good. That was good. And let's see. They kind of surprised a lot of people that these are the Avengers moving forward. And you know, if anybody's paying attention, they're also building the West Coast Avengers right under our noses. That's
Yeah.
already being put into place. The TVA, you have Hiddleston, Loki, Ki Huai Kwan, Ouroboros, Owen Wilson, Mobius. Old Avengers, we have Don Cheadle, Chris Hemsworth, Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, Chris Pratt, Jeremy Renner, Paul Rudd, Mark Ruffalo, Tessa Thompson, Benedict Wong. And then we got the champions. Notice this team here. Remember the champions? So champions, you got America Chavez, Xochitl Gomez. I don't know how you say her name, Xochitl. Catherine Newton, Cassie Lang, Hailey Stanfield, Kate Bishop, Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, and Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan. Then you got the Wakandans +1, which is a Winston Duke M'Baku, Dana Guerreri Okoye, and Tenoch Huerta Mejia as Namor. And then you got Letitia Wright as Shuri. Sam Wilson's Avengers. What's that? That's his own shit. Is that what you're talking about? The trademark? Yeah, he's got Sam Wilson's trademarked Avengers.
Yeah,
See?
because at the end of the thing, he's like, "Oh, he trademarked it." So then
Okay,
he came
so
out. He said,
there's
"That's
a
why we
new.
have to do it with the Z."
That's why New
Yeah.
Avengers. Yeah, New Avengers in the comics they're different, but New
Yeah.
Avengers, Hickman's New Avengers was insane. So, definitely want to check that out. This is the original Avengers. You'll have Sam Wilson as Cap, Shang-Chi up in there, Sam Wilson, Jennifer Walters, Juan Torres, and Simon Williams. Who are these characters? Like that's your Avengers, bro. Sam Wilson, Jennifer Walters, Joaquin Torres, and Simon Williams. Yeah. But yeah, Sam is putting down his own team Avengers together, quite separate from the Thunderbolts / New Avengers Z.
With the Z,
Yeah. Binary Universe X-Men. Binary universe? Obviously, they mean Fox Universe. You got Halle Berry Storm supposed to be in there. Halle Berry's coming back. Nightcrawler, Alan Cumming, and Beast, Kelsey Grammer. You got Jean Grey. Famke Jensen's coming back as Jean Grey. Binary, Lashana Lynch. Cyclops, James Marsden. Magneto, Ian McKellen. Rebecca Romaine back as Mystique. And Xavier is being played again by Patrick Stewart. The MacGuffin, you've got Monica Rambeau. The Incursion Experts. Why not call them the Illuminati? Doctor Strange and Clea. Well, I don't know. I guess not. And the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, man, I forgot they did that. Cosmo, Rocket, Groot, Nebula, Adam Warlock, and Phyla. Where's Nebula?
I don't see Nebula.
The Wild Cards. I don't know if that's an actual team or just literally the Wild Cards, the loose characters. Haley Atwell, Chris Evans, and then Channing Tatum as Gambit. And the rumor is that Channing's also playing someone else too. Multiverse shenanigans. So a lot of these actors that you see, that's why the chairs didn't have their character names, because these actors are going to be playing multiple characters in multiple versions of their characters. There's Tatum there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Something just wasn't right with the hair for me. The hair was too perfect or something. I don't know. Should have been cooler. Let me see. But there you go. I mean, that's the reason why comic costumes don't look right in live action, because some shit looks better drawn than in real life. When you draw hair, you can draw like all these cool, waves and like, points and shit. Yeah. You can't fucking do that in real life. That's as close as you can get. And that's, but hey, I still like seeing the OG suit. I like it.
We'll take it. Yeah,
we'll take
it. We'll take it if we can get it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Take what we can get, and we'll run with that, because it could have been worse.
Oh boy. Oh boy, could it? Yeah, man. Yeah, Bob Iger was saying how Thunderbolts, he was like, we lost a little focus by doing too much, but Bob Iger's saying that Thunderbolts is the first and best example of Marvel's new movie strategy. So he admitted that the company's film slate has struggled in the post-pandemic times by focusing too much on quantity and not on quality. And while I agree with that, I don't think that's really the problem with the movies, but I digress. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, in particular, hasn't restored its luster since the epic culmination of 2019's Avengers Endgame. Period. And there's been a lot of, there's been a couple of hits since COVID. There's been a Deadpools and Wolverines, your Spider-Man's No Ways Homes, and your, Multiverse of Madness, if you like that. Some liked Quantumania, some liked the Marvels, but universally, everyone did like Spider-Man, Deadpool, Wolverine, Doctor Strange. Now, the success has been wildly inconsistent because tentpoles like Aquaman or like Ant-Man and the Marvels and Brave New World, Captain America, were among Disney's first comic book franchise installments to lose money since the MCU brought superhero movies into, popularity. Whether you like those movies or not, they lost money. Period. That's the point. They lost money. Whether they were good or not isn't really the point. So Iger saying that Thunderbolts, which debuted last weekend to 76 million, as the first and best example of the studio's new priority to make better movies, even if that meant that there are fewer of them. He said, quote, hang on. My bad. Stu had to bounce. He had to go fight crime and shit. But he said, quote, Let me. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna throw it up here. Bung. We all know that in our zeal to flood our streaming platform with more content, that we turned to all of our creative engines, including Marvel, and had them produce a lot more. He said Wednesday's investor call. So we've also learned over time that quantity does not necessarily beget quality. And frankly, we've all admitted to ourselves that we lost a little focus by making too much. By consolidating a bit and having Marvel focus much more on their films, we believe that will result in better quality. I think the first and best example is Thunderbolts, and I feel very good about that, end quote. Thunderbolts, which centers on lesser known heroes compared to Captain America and Thor, started slower than most Marvel installments, but analysis believe that it will hold steady at the box office because critics and audiences embrace the film, which boasts an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes and an encouraging A- grade on Cinema Score exit polls. It appears to be a step in the line in the right direction after a string of dismally reviewed films like Captain America: Brave New World, Ant-Man: Quantumania, and The Marvels. We can also add Thor: Love and Thunder and the Eternals on there too while you're at it. Disney is also stoking interest in the Thunderbolts by revealing the meaning behind the asterisk in the film's title. The ragtag group at the helm will henceforth be known as the New Avengers, and they'll make an appearance in 2026's Avengers Doomsday. End quote. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I don't know whether this is true, whether it's a sign of things to come, whether it's actually going to go that way or what, remains to be seen. But I have faith and I definitely have hope. I think that they have what it takes. They just have to learn how to use it. So, but that's our show, guys. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. We'll see you guys Saturday, as always, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.